Hi, Peter Charles here, Hooked Fly Fishing, and I want to talk about something that's a little unconventional. I call it strategic sloppiness. In other words, it's being deliberately sloppy for a reason, rather than just being sloppy because we're just being sloppy. I often do this when I'm tying my own flies. I don't do it when I'm tying for videos usually because I try to do it anywhere between really neat and semi-neat. I vary between those depending on what I'm doing and how I feel at that moment. But generally speaking, I'm trying to avoid being sloppy. An example where I've sort of done this in my videos, there are ways to make hair wings really sort of clump together so they look neat on the vise. I don't do that. I let them splay a little bit. I don't want them splaying too much, obviously, but I don't mind a little bit of splay because it helps the movement in the water. They look better when they fish. So I'm going to introduce you to something when doing Mylar or tinsel bodies, and some of the differences we see depending on how we tie on our thread. So I've started this one here, and I'm going to be very neat when I start here. So my first wraps are going to be quite neat. So you can see there's literally no gap in there. You can't see the hook at all. I mean, if I want a perfect body, that's what I want my underthread to look like. I want that perfectly flat going back, perfectly flat going forward, no gaps. You will see on some of my ties there's little gaps. You know, I don't want to spend all day tying a fly for a video sometimes, so I rush things a little bit. But when I've really wanted to be neat, that's what they look like. Now, let's go sloppy. Okay, we'll tie on our Mylar. Now, I've been sloppy halfway. Now when I get to my nice bit here, I'm going to go back to being neat. So you can see I've got half my body very sloppily wrapped and half my body very neatly wrapped. Let's see what happens when we put on our Mylar. I'm going to pull this Mylar tight. Now let's look at this. I want you to look at the spectral highlights that are in the crappily, sloppily done section, and how smooth and how few the spectral highlights are in the smooth section. And in fact, the couple that are here are actually introduced because my Mylar got a little loose as I'm tying it off. So if I'd kept that a little bit tighter, they would have been even less. So you can see in the neat section, it's not much for a spectral highlight. If you look at the sloppy section, there's a lot of spectral highlights. What does that mean for fishing? Well, it means if you're on a bright sunny day and you're fishing that fly and you've tied it, the whole body, in a very sloppy fashion, the whole thing is full of sparkly little highlights. I mean, can you ask for more? I mean, that's real got some real flash to it. Whereas that smooth section, it's going to depend on the angle. You know, if you get it just the right angle, you're going to see a nice flash off of it, but other angles there's going to be nothing. The sloppy section is going to be glittering the entire time. So when I'm tying streamers for myself, I do the sloppy body. Very quick, tie that Mylar on, get that rippled effect, and I get some serious flash coming off of it when it's in the water. So give that some thought. I mean, yeah, tie neatly if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not criticizing it. But give some thought to the fact there are other choices, other ways of thinking, and that being super neat isn't always going to give you the best fishing results. Cheers.